Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you have not yet, make sure you like, subscribe to this channel, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, of course, go on over to Instagram at Mika504. Ain't nothing changed. I'm still here. I just been getting some comments about where have I been, giving another story time. So I'm here to give another story time to you all while I'm trying to get my hair in a ponytail because I got to go. So has anything changed with me personally since the last video went out? I guess a couple of things. I have to update y'all in parts, but your girl is happy. Let's just say that. My story time today is gonna be on when I tried to date a minister. I tried to date a minister after I got divorced from my gay husband. Y'all know that video. But anyway, I tried to date this guy. I've always been like into like church boys, you know, because you think church boys are good boys because I dated somebody who was not from my church from school. Y'all know how that turned out. So let me try church boy, right? Child. I found this church boy, I'll never forget. It was Easter Sunday. Well, it was actually, I think it was it was Good Friday. That's what it was. It was Good Friday, the Friday before Easter. And we went to church. It was just me, my family was out having a good time. And my church fellowships with another church like all the time. We always do church services with them. If we're doing like a second service, they'll come and minister at our church. If they're doing a second service, we'll come and minister at theirs. You know, we support each other spiritually. So this particular day, their church came to our church. My church was on the west side of Atlanta. Because, of course, I'm back in Atlanta. Y'all know from the previous story. But I was at church, my childhood church. I grew up in this church. And the joining church, the guest church, was a church that we had been fellowshipping with since I was a kid. Like, since I joined this church on up until my adulthood, we've been going back and forth with this church. And they had a new minister of music. I want to say that's what he was. He was the new minister of music. So I saw, like, because I've known everybody at this church. I've never seen this dude before. He was cool. He played the piano. He could sing. Real cool, down to earth dude, right? So I could see during service. Service ended. We're outside in the lobby area of the church, and I'm standing out there with my grandma. And we talking, and the dude, he was like, oh, hey, ma'am, how you doing? Talking to some grandma. You know, young boys ain't really that nice to old people. So it was kind of cute to see that, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I should give this dude a try, right? So we go outside the church, and like we, of course, had been making eyes during service. He was leading the choir. I'm sitting down. My choir get up to sing. I go up. We sing. We have a good time. He's smiling. You know, it was a little bit of a connection there. So we leave. We outside in the lobby. We're talking. He was like, I've been looking at you the whole time during service, and I want to know if you're single. Heck yeah. What's up? So he was like, well, let's exchange numbers, and you know, we can talk outside the service. Cool. We exchanged numbers. We started texting here and there. The dude asked me to go out one day, right? Now, when I first got divorced, I had like a really, really hard time trusting men. So going out on a date, I'm cool with just texting, to be honest with you. So we text for months, right? I went to his church one Sunday because our churches again was doing something else, and I went back over to his church this time. And we spoke briefly. You know, I said, I'll call you later. We'll text later, whatever. I ended up leaving. We continued to text. We set up a date. I got off work one morning and told this dude to come and meet me at a particular spot, right? So the dude came and meet me. He was like, well, I'm going to take you out for breakfast. Cool. So I left my car. I got in the car with him. Very, very, and it was an innocent date. It was an innocent day. We are not, at the time, me and him did not have a title. We were just talking, right? So we go to a breakfast spot, and the breakfast spot was closed. So he was like, I'm going to run one more errand and then I'll take you back to your car. Now, I met him in Midtown Atlanta. Like, so it's like, I guess it's like in the downtown area, but it was Midtown near 4th Ward, which is also where my ex-husband was from. We ended up in East Point, which is like South Atlanta, going near like the airport area, hood. We get over here. He's driving me through this like housing community, and they're like brick houses. You can tell it was like an older neighborhood. So before I finish, I'm gonna give you a little backstory on the church that he was a part of. The church he was a part of was like full of like young members. They had a whole bunch of young members that went there. Their pastor was young. My pastor was, so I think my pastor and his pastor were best friends. They both used to work for a police department. There was history, okay? Prior to me meeting this guy, we're gonna call him Edward. Prior to me meeting Edward, I had met like other preachers in the church, other people in the music department, the drummer, the lead singer, the choir director, the youth pastor, all of that stuff. There was a youth pastor also that preached at this church. He wasn't new when I met Edward, but he was newer than the youth pastor I grew up with. Let me say that, because the youth pastor we grew up with, he disappeared. So there's a lot of preachers at that church, except the main preacher, but we're not going to talk about that. So, anyway, me and Edward, we go out. We are going through like this East Point area. I'm in his truck, okay? So I had on my uniform, like my work clothes, because I had just got off work. He had on a tank top and some basketball shorts with some long socks and some slides, right? So at the time, of course, I'm coming out of a marriage. My husband was like the first person I dated, and then I married. So I wasn't like dating anybody prior to that or going out and like seeing what the trends are for men, okay? So we're going through this housing area. He told me he was going to stop somewhere. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I need you to hurry and take me back to my car so I can go home because I'm tired. So he was like, all right, I'm going to stop real quick. We pull up at a house, y'all. And it was a brick house. I will never forget it. We went up like a little hill, and the house kind of set up on the hill. It was like a lot of grass. Again, this is an older community. So we get up there and somebody opens the door, the front door to the house. He gets out of the car. He goes to the front door. They go and they talk for a minute. The dude left his keys in the car with me, and I'm almost certain it was not intentional. So he left the keys in the car. I always lock the car doors, right? So his car doors is locked. So he goes inside. He comes back out. He was like, oh, come inside real quick. I got to show you something. We just going to be real quick. And something in my spirit told me not to get my ass out that car. So I sat there and I was like, no. Of course, the window's not rolled down. I'm yelling this out of from the car to him outside. I'm like, no, I'm not getting out the car. No. He was like, get out the car. We're going to be right back. And I looked over. I didn't know how to drive this truck. So I was limited on what I could do in this truck. So we're in the car. Well, I'm in the car. He's standing outside. He was like, come out. I didn't come out. He went back in the house. He talked to whoever was in the house for a minute. He comes back outside. The dude comes and he's trying to yank open the door. Then he realizes that the keys are still in the car. The car was not crunk, but the keys were still in the car. He's pulling the door. I look over his shoulder from where he was standing, and who the hell do I see come out of the house? With basketball shorts, a tank top, and some slides on. I'm waiting for y'all to guess. Guess in the comments. Just guess. It was the fucking youth pastor, y'all. The youth pastor from the church. The actual preacher. The youth preacher from the church was in the house. And I guess they thought it was finna bang bang me together. I don't know what they thought they was finna do. But baby, I had another thing coming, honey, because it was not going to happen. I stayed in the car. I told him, boy, if he didn't get his tail back in that car, I was going to call the cops, and I was not joking. And I just couldn't believe that, like, he tried to set me up in a situation like that with the youth preacher. So that goes to show, baby, that all holy men ain't so holy. Everybody can put on the show in the pulpit, in the church, in front of a crowd. They can dress it up, baby, with a suit and a tie. But honey, real life outside of that location is totally different. Totally different. So needless to say, I did not get out the car. He went back in the house and said something to the dude. He was like adamant about getting me out the car. So I jumped in the back seat and I cracked the window. Again, we're in an older area. I seen this old lady outside of her house and she was gardening. She was like planting flowers or whatever outside. And I went and yelled. I was like, ma'am, can you call the police? Ma'am, I need help. Ma'am. Really just trying to get the lady's attention so he can get his ass in the car and take me home. To be honest with you. Like, I wasn't scared they was going to really do something to me. Because I can cause a scene. You don't want me to cause a scene. If y'all think I'm loud on YouTube, oh my God. It's a whole show in person. Trust me. So, anyway, he gets in the car or his truck and he takes me back home. But before he takes me home, he drives out. I'm not even talking to him at this point. Like, just get me where I need to go. And this really drop me off at the train station. I can get back to my car. Take me to the train station. So he was like, I'm gonna take you home. No, you finna take me to this train station because I need to go back and get my car and I will drive myself home. The boy didn't know where I live. I have never given this dude my address, nothing. He's never been in my house. He didn't even know what side of town I lived on, okay? So he takes me to a park in the same neighborhood. He drives into a park. There's nobody in the park. It was just me, him, and his car. And he was like, well, if you want to go home, you finna give me HEAD. Okay? So I'm like, oh no. Like, no. We don't get down like that. This is not finna happen. You finna take me to the train station. So baby, he got real comfortable in his little seat, honey. He started to pull his little gym shorts down. And I kept looking at him like, is he about to do something to me that I did not give him permission to do? Like, this is what I'm saying in my head, because I just see this going completely wrong, as if what just happened was not wrong. So I could have gotten out the car, but I didn't. There was no bus stop over there. There was no nothing. I couldn't even tell you how to walk back to the main street because we had been going like turning down all these streets just to get to this house. So if I was to get out, where would I have gone? Who would have took me somewhere? So anyway, he take his pants down, and I found the ink pen, baby, and we was about to have a stabbing war in the car. I kid you not. You finna pull your pants up and you finna take me to the train station. All jokes aside, I'm not joking. Like, I don't know what the hell y'all think is going on. Who y'all think I am, I don't know, but we finna go to this train station right now. So we got into this huge argument in the car until he realized that I was not playing with him. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what happened, but he realized I was not playing. And he ended up taking me to the train station. I got on the train. I had to go get my car. And then I went back home. About 2 weeks later, the dude started texting my phone, right? For whatever reason, I want to say I had a Metro at the time. And even though I could block him, the text messages were still coming through, even though I wasn't responding. And every morning, I used to have to get up and go to school. Every morning, when I got up to go to school or go to work or whatever I was doing that day, it never failed. When I open my eyes, y'all, I would have a text message on my phone. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. I hope you have a good day, beautiful. Oh, beautiful, I miss you. Beautiful this. Oh, answer the phone, beautiful. This, that, and the third. Y'all, it got so bad. I knew I was being stalked. Like, this boy was stalking me. He was stalking me. So I would get up in the morning. If I turned my light on, there would be another text. As soon as my light would come on at 6:30, it would come on at 6:52. Every time my light would come on in my room, I would get a text. So I'm like, is the dude sitting outside the house? Like, what the heck? How do you know where I am? How do you know what I'm doing? How do you know I'm up? Like, how do you know? To this day, y'all, I still have never found out. But let me tell you how I got him to stop messaging me. So one night, I got off work. I came in the house. And I was staying with my daddy and my stepmama for a minute. And I was telling my stepmama about what was going on. And she was like, well, answer the phone next time he called. And he just happened to call that night. And when he called, she answered the phone. And she was like, hello. She was acting like she was me. And this stupid. Me and my stepmama saying absolutely nothing alike. This dummy didn't even know that it wasn't me. So she answered the phone and she was like, hello. She said, hey, baby, how you doing? He said something back to her. And she was like, I just want you to know, I just went to the doctor and I found out I got AIDS. And he was like, what? I thought you wasn't having sex. You know, just really telling the story that I had told him. And she was like, I know. She said, but it must have came from somebody else. So I don't want to keep going like this. So I'm just letting you know up front, like if you want to continue this relationship and move forward, we can. But if you don't, I completely understand. But I'm letting you know now that I have AIDS. There was an awkward silence on the phone, and then he was like, I ain't cool, bro. Like I just talked to you later. And he hung up the phone. And I did not talk to that boy again for maybe about a year or two. I moved out of state and I was coming back to Atlanta to visit. My old church that I started, this same church where we met, something happened with like the actual physical location, and they were doing service at a temporary building. So I'm at this temporary location. I go to the gas station right next door to where the church service was being held, and I hear somebody saying, Mika, Mika, like far from a distance, Mika, Mika, Mika. Now, don't nobody call me Mika unless you like family, a close friend. I normally do not go by Mika, ever. So somebody, Mika, 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 they just call me Mika, 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 Mika. And I finally like catch on that whoever it is gotta be trying to get my attention because ain't nobody else out here with me, you know? So I turn around and who was standing at a gas pump like far in the distance? It was Edward standing there. And I was like, oh God, I have not seen this boy in God knows how long. He had a girl in the car with him. And he was like, man, I ain't seen you in a long time. This is literally the conversation across the gas station parking lot. And I was like, yeah, it's been a minute, man. What's been going on? He was like, oh man, I just want to come talk. You ain't got to talk to me. It was good to see you though. And I continued on inside the gas station, did what I had to do, baby. Hopped in my car. I drove past church because I didn't want this fool to know where I was going. I kept going. I drove, I know, a good 3 or 4 miles down the road, y'all. And by the time I came back, he was gone. But it was just ironic how we ended up seeing each other again after all of these years. And my church stopped fellowshipping with his church. I don't really know much about what happened to him. I just know that we didn't talk. And then I ended up finding out that this same dude used to date my cousin because they went to the same school, Douglas High School. If y'all know about that on the west side. They went to the same high school and he dated her. So I don't know if he was trying to compare me to her because me and my cousin, baby, when I tell you, we are nothing alike. Nothing alike. We don't do nothing alike. We don't have the same lifestyle. Nothing. So whatever he did with her, baby, you was going to get none of that with me. Absolutely none of it. So I ended up finding out that he dated her. I want to say he had some kids with a girl. And I ended up finding out, so I'm not even going to say the name because I don't want to get sued, but there's a popular soul food chain in the Atlanta area, I think. I don't know if they're Georgia, like statewide, but I know they're in Atlanta. And it's like 2 brothers, and they have like a soul food chain. And I don't think the food good, but people like it. Some people like it. But he's their younger brother. And honey, you just put a bad name on your family when you act crazy. But anyway, I ain't never ate at these people's restaurants since I found out that he was related to him. You ain't got to worry about me going back. I don't even want a piece of cornbread. I don't even want a rib. I don't want nothing from in there. So, long story short, I never seen this dude again. The church that he was going to, I want to say it was like the year when we had this whole falling out when he thought him and his pastor was about to get some. That same year, it was the end of the year, it was around Christmas time, that youth pastor, the youth minister who lived in a brick house in East Point, Georgia, robbed the church. It was on the news. Y'all can go look up like preacher robbing church or something like that and it might pop up. But anyway, that same youth pastor robbed the church that he was going to, the same church. He took the podium in the pulpit, y'all. He stole the benches, like the chairs that go inside, the benches that go inside the church with like the sanctuary. He stole those out of a storage unit. He stole, honey, probably thousands of dollars from the church. Like, just stole it. And he disappeared. And that has been a couple of years ago, and I haven't heard anything, but I wish I could tell y'all this boy's name. I have not heard about this minister, this youth pastor, the fake youth pastor. I don't know where he went. He disappeared off the face of the earth just like his friend Edward did, baby. They both, I'm pretty sure they was like working together to rob that church, because right after that happened, neither one of them went to that same church anymore. And that church right now, I'm pretty sure it's still functioning. They're on the west side of Atlanta, in the hood too, the real hood of the west side. But it's just ironic how life changes and you go through certain things with people, because again, I never thought that I would go through that with a real church boy. So I thought, and then you're involved in the church. You're the minister of music. And I realized then the ministers of music they not real ministers. They just they just get paid to come play the piano or play the drums or play the tambourine. And that's it. And I think that boy was a real West Side dude to think that he was finna do anything with me. All right, y'all, that's my story time. If y'all want to hear any more, y'all know I got some juicy stories. Post them down below. Send me a message on Instagram. Whatever y'all want to do. Again, like, subscribe to this channel. Like the video. Make sure you comment. You know, you thought it was funny. You thought it was lame. Whatever. You know, y'all are very vocal on what y'all feel about my videos. So post those below, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Oh, y'all didn't do my ponytail. Child, I've been talking to y'all the whole time. I ain't even did my hair.